How to get clients for your software development agency or any other agencies that you are trying to promote through LinkedIn. In this video, I'm gonna give you 3 methods that you can actually use, utilizing both inbound and outbound, so that you can start receiving connections even without doing anything, and also by reaching out to your ideal potential clients yourself. Those are the methods that I'm utilizing myself, and they're bringing for my agency from 5 to 10 book calls per week. And this is what you can start doing for your software development agency, even if you just started it right now. So let's get started. The first thing that you should have is LinkedIn profile. I will quickly go through the things that you should have there because many people are actually making mistakes even at this point. The first one is LinkedIn bio. Many technical founders think that it should be clear, it should explain what exactly they do and basically attract clients this way. But this is wrong because your LinkedIn bio should do 2 things. First, it should attract clients, and second, it should be unclear. It should attract the right ICP, meaning if you are targeting software engineers just like I do, then somewhere in your bio you should state that you are helping software engineers to do something, or it's somehow relevant to software engineers or any other people who you are targeting. Second thing is that it should be unclear and it shouldn't look like you are selling anything, because whenever you will be reaching out to people, if they understand that you're gonna pitch them something, they may just decline your connection request. So what they should understand is that it's an interesting guy and I can just accept his connection for now and then see what's gonna happen. And since your bio is also unclear, they will be interested in actually going to your profile and seeing what exactly it means. And this will be applicable not to just outreach but to also creating content, because if people read your post and they see your content, they will be interested in actually going to your profile and also see what exactly this guy does. And this is the case for me because on my LinkedIn I'm saying that I'm helping software engineers to achieve their dreams. And what the heck does it mean? Nobody knows. And the reason why I also have this is because I basically have 2 ICPs, which are technical founders, and software engineers, which is basically a beginner version of technical founders. So it kind of applies to both of those ICPs. Second thing that I also see pretty many technical founders do wrong is profile picture. Their profile picture either has some other people in this profile picture, or it's made with AI, or it's just not professional. Just try to make like a good selfie of yourself and you can even post it. And what I made for my own profile is that I also deleted the background and I placed the green background there. I'm not sure if it's a good idea or not, but in my opinion it really attracts more people because it's unique and it definitely separates me from other people on LinkedIn. At least this is what I think. Also, the third thing that you can do is insert some text in your cover, in your LinkedIn banner. Say something what you're doing. Again, make it also not so clear so that people are interested in going lower to your about page, to your company page, and basically learning more about what you do. It should also be relevant to your ICP, ideal client profile. Then in about section, I recommend you to write it yourself. Don't use ChatGPT. Just give a basic idea of what you do, why do you do that, how exactly you help. Make it pretty much vague as well. And you can also add a CTA to your website or something else, so that people who are interested can go and do that. And the reason why we're making everything here vague on our LinkedIn page is that we want people to go and actually do those CTAs that we want them to do. Either it's chat with us, open our website, open our YouTube video, or book a call with us. Because if they will directly know what exactly we're doing, then they will be not interested in actually learning more. So we should kind of explain them what we're doing, but not at the same time explaining what we're doing, so that they have this natural desire to go further and see what exactly we're doing. And in the featured section of your LinkedIn, I really recommend you to insert your YouTube videos there. And this is what I did. First one is my full story, so that people can go and actually build trust with me and see what exactly I'm doing and why I started doing this. And it's also the first link in my YouTube description videos as well, because I want you to build trust with me. And the second video is basically an educative video and showing that I have the knowledge and basically showing that I can share some valuable stuff. And the last thing that you need for your LinkedIn page is your company's page. Even if you just started, ideally have your company there, because it really adds you trust. And whenever I have calls with anyone, they're all mentioning my company. They're saying like, I see that you've been in the space for a while already, even if the company existed for 2 months. And some of them actually go to the company page and see what it's like, can go to the website as well, see your posts. So this is why you can also repost some of your posts from main LinkedIn profile to your company's page, and also add your website, by domain if you don't have a domain, and have a simple logo there. And also in your profile, in the experience stage, write down what exactly you do in this company. It also can be pretty much by you. After this foundational step is done, we can actually go and search for leads. And there are two ways in doing this. The first one is a basic search that I don't really recommend. I tried using it at first, but then I just got out of leads, and it's not very comfortable to use it because you are basically seeing the same people all the time, but you can still try doing it at first, especially if you're just starting out and you don't want to spend money on LinkedIn Sales Navigator, sorry, and you just want to test out and validate your business ideas. Then you can go to a normal search. You can just enter like a space in the search itself and then open additional search filters and insert a title of the person there. At this point, I hope you already know who exactly you are targeting, and you ideally should target super specific niche of people, especially if you're just starting out. For example, if you're making websites for doctors, then you can target dentists specifically, or maybe dentists who are working just in this specific area or helping with their specific, super specific problem. For example, helping dentists whose clients are not coming back. For example, they came just once and they're not coming back, so you're helping with them with your solution. For example, it's marketing emails, and you're helping them to install this without using any additional services. So in that case, you could insert dentist inside of there and search for dentists among your second and third connections, because as far as I remember, it doesn't allow you to go beyond third connections. And the second method that I really recommend you to use is using Sales Navigator on LinkedIn. Its price is around 120 bucks as I remember. And the cool thing there is that you can actually specify much more information. So you can add more titles, you can add experience level, you can specify how many years they're working in this specific company. You can specify also if you already seen this lead or not. Maybe you already communicated with this lead. Maybe you already have saved this lead. You can also specify his geography. You can also specify that he posted in the recent 30 days. What means that he is probably active on LinkedIn, because there may be a lot of leads who are not even opening LinkedIn, so even if you message them, it's not gonna make any sense for you. So this is what you should also think about as well. And basically, whenever you found those leads, you just need to connect with them. You don't need to add any specific connection node to your request, just send a connection without anything. And if you also want to increase your chances of success, you can also write down some comments under their posts if they have any posts, but there is a huge chance that for your ICP like dentist, there may be not too many posts, because probably they're not looking for clients on LinkedIn, right? And after they accepted your connection request, you can start messaging them. And a really cool tip as well here is that some of your ICPs may actually specify their contact information in their profile. So in the profile, you can press contact info button and it will open a pop-up, and it may have their email, website, and phone number sometimes. It really depends on your ICP. Usually those who are searching for jobs on LinkedIn, or at least were doing this at some point before, they have this information there. So sometimes you can even just call them. For example, if you see that they're probably not opening LinkedIn too often, then you can just call them and it can be easier. But how do you actually start the conversation on DMs in LinkedIn so that it leads towards a booked call on your calendar? First of all, you should send a starter message. Since we're working with businesses here, it's going to be pretty easy, but if you're working with just consumers, it's going to be a bit harder. If that's the case for you, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. The link is in the description of this video, and I'll exactly explain how you can go in this way. Or if you have any other issues throughout this entire flow of lead generation, you can also reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm gonna give you a few suggestions. What I really like to make my first message around for business owners is to kind of pretend that I'm a customer by asking something about their business, which is also relevant to the thing that I'm helping them to fix. For example, when I'm looking for my own clients for my own lead generation agency, I'm asking tech founders if they are currently looking for any clients. And I don't necessarily try to make myself look as a customer. I'm just asking them for simple questions that they can easily reply to, and they may feel like there is some interest to their business from my side. For example, if you're helping with websites, you can say like, is this on purpose that your website link is not working? Are you currently accepting clients through the website? Or for example, if you're helping with AI automations, for example, you can also ask like, are you onboarding new clients right now? And even if they say no, it already means that they're managing pretty lots of clients, and you can continue the conversation about the flows that you're helping them with. Maybe you're helping them with managing their current clients using AI automations. And the second message can kind of show them what exactly your intent is. At this point, you're already definitely showing that you are not the customer if it looked like you are a customer before. And you are saying that you may potentially help them with XYZ, but you don't want to offer them or pitch them anything unless you know that this is exactly what they need. And then you're asking them a question, is this something that you need? And basically at this stage you are able to understand if they're qualified or not for your offer. For example, in my case, I'm saying I may actually help you with acquiring new clients, but I don't want to pitch you into anything unless I know that your way of getting clients is currently not working. Are you actually satisfied with how you are getting results right now? And if they qualify themselves after this qualification question, this is when I can start doing gap selling. And if they don't reply or if they don't qualify themselves, you don't need to reply to them afterwards. You don't really need to follow up with them unless you don't have enough leads and other potential prospects to chat with. What I usually do is after the first and second message, I don't follow up if there is no reply, and I only follow up after the qualification question. And I can do really lots of follow-ups because they already showed me the intent. They're qualified, so I can easily message them or interact with their posts as well and just try out different things. You can even mention them in other posts of other people that you think can be relevant for them. It's also a good way of showing your own presence around them. And there is a thing like Stockholm effect, is that even if you don't really like the person, but he's been around you for a while, you're gonna start liking him at some point anyways. So this is what we can kind of utilize here as well. So what is actually gap selling? It's what many tech founders actually don't really know about. So the idea is that our prospect is currently at point A and we want to get him to point B. This is his goal, and at point A, he cannot achieve basically his goal. Or at least it will take him some time to actually do this, to go through some changes, identity shifts, or maybe some other scaling processes. So what our plan is that we should find out his current state, understand what is his desired state, and make them feel as far as possible without our solution. And then position our solution as a bridge to actually getting from point A to point B. So how do we actually do this? As we already did with qualification question, we kind of understood that they are at point A and they're not satisfied with where they're currently at. So what we should do is we should ask about what exactly they're using right now. Like, how do they get customers like right now? How many of those clients do they actually get per week? What are the methods that they're using for actually getting those customers? And it will also give us an understanding of what they're actually doing to achieve those results and see if we're actually able to help with it. Maybe we're helping them to do outbound, like it's the case for me, but they're already doing a huge outbound and it's kind of working for them. Then maybe we're not even needed in this case. We're definitely not going to sell something that is already working for them. But usually the case is that it's not working, or at least they're not doing this. So ask like, what is the reason why you're not doing this? Why are you in this spot? And it works really well when you already also define the future state, their B point. For example, you can ask like, what is your goal with your current business? How many clients do you usually want to have per month? And once they're saying like the number which is 2-3 times higher than their current number, then you can ask like, and what do you think like is preventing you from getting there? Why are you even staying at this point A? Why don't you get to the point B? What's the problem? And basically the idea is that we are causing them pain at this point. And it's actually kind of a good pain because we're gonna help them to resolve this pain. And this pain is what exactly makes them to eventually go on some calls with us and basically buy our solutions. And this is exactly what you should do on the sales call as well. So basically by making this pain to them, we're not directly making them feel pain. We're just asking them questions and they're just responding to those questions themselves and basically understanding that there is a problem here. So basically we're asking like, so you are like 1-2 clients per month and you want to have 10 clients per month. So you are doing the thing, but it's like not working. So why don't you just get there? What do you think is the problem? Why are you currently like staying in this position? Didn't you try different things? And then once they actually admit that they have the problem and they cannot actually move to the point B, then we are bringing our solution. And at this point, when we are at the M stage, we should just make it as for you as we were doing it before with our entire LinkedIn profile. Basically, we're not explaining what exactly we're gonna do. We're just saying that we have a system that may actually be useful for this direct case, from going from like 2 clients to 10 clients per month, and asking if they're interested in actually us explaining how to do that. And then once they admit, and we need this small yes, because once we get those small yeses, we make them feel that they're the ones who are actually making those decisions first of all, and secondly, those small yeses combine into a bigger yes afterwards. which we're gonna need as a sales call. And basically, whenever they give us this small yes, we can say that, okay, I have this system that is helping, like in your case, doing this from that. Again, it's gonna be a pretty much vague answer, and you can even ask ChatGPT to generate this so that it's giving them some information, but at the same time not giving them too much information as well. And basically inviting them on a sales call with you, but you're not gonna position it as a sales call. You're gonna position it as a like strategy discovery on basically informational call, where you're gonna explain something to them, and you actually will kind of explain what exactly you can do and what they can do to actually get this working. But at the same time, it can also be a pitch if that's what you see they're qualified for, if they're interested, if they show intent, then you can actually transition this into a sales call. So this is the message that you send them, and ideally it can be a Loom video where you're recording like your screen. You can also like show some details on the screen. Maybe you have some testimonials, results, this is what you can show, or you can make a voice note, basically recording your voice and basically telling them your personalized message for their specific case. Or if you cannot do both of these, then you can just send a text message and it also works. But ideally use the first two. And this is how you get the book call with your qualified potential client. And the third method that you can also use is to actually create content. I don't want to explain this too much in details because there is a lot of stuff to learn here, but what you should know is that you should target your ICP in the hook. Even if this post is not super relevant to your ICP, you should niche down all the time and specify the problems that they're having in their minds. And it should be directly in the hook. It shouldn't be somewhere in the post itself, just in the first two lines of your hook, and those lines shouldn't be too long so that you can feed them until the point where it says open more, to open like the full post. So the first two lines are visible, and it should be clear that it's probably for software engineers. For example, my most recent post on LinkedIn is how to stand out on LinkedIn when creating posts. So what I did is I said how to stand out on LinkedIn as a software engineer when creating posts. And this is exactly what you can do so that you can target correct ICP. Because if you don't, basically those posts and those views on those posts don't make any sense for you. You don't even need those views because they're not relevant and you're not gonna sell them anything. And unfortunately, I get those views sometimes as well. And the most important thing is that you need some engagement from them. Either they should comment on your post or they should like your post. And after they've done that, you can go through those lists and see either in the comments or in the list of those who liked your post, see who did that. And if you are not connected with them, you can go and connect with them. And in the connection note, you can this time add something like, thank you for engaging with my post. I would love to connect with you. And then after you connected, you can proceed with the same procedures that was used for DMs outreach. You can do it for both guys who liked your post, and with those guys who commented, you can also first reply to their comment, build some rapport with them as well, and then connect with them and chat with them in the DMs. And this is exactly how you can get qualified leads in LinkedIn. And if you're struggling at any stage of this process, either specifying your ICP, understanding your positioning, your offer, or you're already at a stage when you're looking for leads and you cannot find them, or maybe you cannot sell to those leads, then feel free to directly message me on LinkedIn and let me know that you're coming from this video, and I'll be happy to chat with you about your current situation. And maybe I'm gonna utilize some of those methods that I mentioned in this video. Hope you don't mind me doing this, because those actually are working, and those are actually the things that you would do even if you wouldn't try to sell anything. You're still trying to understand what the person's business is kind of looking like. So you can do it even with a friend. So yeah, this is how our life works. So I'll see you either in my LinkedIn, or you can check out my full story in the description of this video so that you can build some more trust with me. I'll see you there.